You know what time it is? It's time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper. Yeah.
Welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. Season 10 still going strong, people. If you haven't, make sure you go to the website, thebigscoopwithcoop.com, where you catch episodes from season 1 all the way up to now. Big shout outs to everybody that's watching on Facebook, facebook.com/The Big Scoop with Coop. Also, big shout outs to everybody that's watching on Instagram at Big Scoop with Coop. And also everybody that's watching on YouTube at The Big Scoop with Coop. Make sure you click like and subscribe so you don't miss one episode of The Big Scoop with Coop. All right, people, enough about me. Today's guest, you have seen her on so many different shows and movies. You've seen her on Friday, Hustle and Flow, The Wayans Brothers. I can keep naming so many different movies and shows that she's done. She's also in one more I want to name. It's called A Miracle Before Christmas that you can catch on BET Plus and on December the 23rd on BET. Ladies and gentlemen, Paula Jai Parker. Now, once again, Paula is a very successful actress. Her career is nowhere close to being over. So we're going to kick back. We're going to talk to Paula about A Miracle Before Christmas. We're going to talk about different things that went through her career also. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Paula Jai Parker. Miss Paula Jai Parker, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Coop. Scoop. Thank you for having me. My day's going great. Just thankful to be on your show. You know, thankful to be in a great film called A Miracle Before Christmas. I think this is my first Christmas movie. And, you know, Christmas movies are like hot right now in Hollywood.
That's
I
true.
think, you know, BET shut it down last year when they bought, I think they just, bought everything Christmas. So, I think people who were ready to make Christmas movies just got that little push because, everyone loves the holidays. Everyone loves love, and they love to love during the holidays. So, this is a phenomenal example of, love during the holidays. It's kind of a Miracle on 34th Street meets the Bishop's Wife meets it's all about the new you, A Wonderful Life, getting a glimpse into what the world would be like if you hadn't made the choices that you made.
And I had the director of the show, Lazriel Lasson, on my show yesterday.
Yes.
And he was talking about it also. He sure was. But you know what, Paula, we're going to talk about that movie in 1 minute. But a lot of people, they have seen your face. They've seen you in a lot of things. But
and
let's
still
start
don't know
from the beginning.
my name. Yeah, I'm one of those actresses that I've been in so many things and I've looked different in everything I've been in. They call us character actresses. So I know that I've been in the game 30 years working professionally. So I have a lot of people that they're like, oh my gosh, I'm a household name in a lot of Black households, but other, people, they'll see me, or even Black people, they don't really know my name. They'll be like, you're Paula Jai Walker? I'll just be like, yeah, that's me.
You know what, Paula, don't
I am a Black girl.
Yourself.
Very picky about how my name's pronounced, and it is Jay.
Right.
But,
But you know what, Paula, a lot of people know you more than you give credit to be truthful. They do. But let's start from the beginning. When did you first realize that you wanted to become an actress?
Wow. I was a baby. It was a reoccurring dream that I used to have when I didn't even understand what dreams were. I was so young that, I was having this dream. My dreams have come true. Since I was a little girl, I've been my father died when I was young. I used to see him. I didn't understand that he was dead and it wasn't normal, Haley Joel Osment, kind of thing. I've been through a lot, that has opened me up to my spiritual nature. And I've always known that this was something I was supposed to do. So I can't say it was a choice necessarily. It was a choice that I accepted, but it was something that I knew from, the moment I can remember that it was something that I wanted to do with my life. And I didn't know how to express it. And I didn't really understand what it was beyond people in this box, and I just knew that that's what I wanted. I understood that that was what the dream meant, but I thought it was my mom because it was an adult. And I saw she was an actress and she was with Billy D. Williams. But that's who my husband thinks he is. Anyway, so it was God's way of showing me where I should be, where I was heading. So I can't even say there was a time where I didn't want to be an actress or didn't know that that was the journey that I was supposed to, take. And I think that's a blessing because
It
there's so
is.
many people who have so much talent in so many things and they just don't know which way to turn or where to go with it. And I think once you know what you want to do with your life, I've always said that it makes the doing a lot easier.
That's true. And Paula, I tell a lot of people, whenever you're young and you get that bug, that itch, or that feeling inside of you, there's a reason why it's there, because
Yes,
it's something you need to do in that field.
right.
And big shout outs to you for doing that, jumping up in there.
And
Also
shout out
big,
to my mom. Yeah.
yeah. And also big shout outs to Billy D, aka Forrest, also for doing his thing also.
I really did. But
Yes.
yes, and shout outs to my mother because, there are a lot of parents whose children, they say these things that come from the ether and you just don't know where it's coming from, but she didn't shy away from it. And
Right.
she didn't discourage me. There were people in my family who discouraged her for
Mhm.
not discouraging me. Like, you know, my I don't want to say any, my
Oh,
dad before he died, he
right.
showed that he saw that I was showing signs of wanting to be an actress. He died when I was like 2 or 3, and I had already expressed that's what I wanted to do with my life. And my mother told me before he died, he told her to try to steer me away from that because
Mhm.
he was a hairdresser in the industry for big famous people out here in Los Angeles. He brought the weed to LA. So he rolled with people like James Brown, and he saw firsthand, back then what it required to be in this industry.
Yeah.
And he was dying, and my mom told me that that was something he asked her, not to do. And she said she didn't promise him that, because it wasn't her promise to make. And I
Understandable.
always thought that that was big because when someone is passing away and they may ask you to make a promise, he asked me to make one too, and mine was to take care of her, for the rest of our lives, her life,
Understandable.
my life. And I said yes. I was 2 or 3. I don't even, that's the one thing I remember, you know,
Mhm.
the last time I saw him and making that promise. So for her to also not make that promise, but make the promise to herself that it wasn't for her to say, I thought was very strong and noble. And,
Okay.
she went out of her way to help facilitate that dream. And I
Understand.
say that to my son all the time as well. As soon as you figure out what you want to do, I can help you.
Hmm.
Because if me being able to tell my mom, she put me in Caramel Theater, which is like one of the premier theaters or first theaters even in the country. But it happens to be a Black theater in Cleveland, Ohio. And, she put me in the Singing Angel. She was able to put me places that could help me with my dream. So, that's what I'm, trying to do with my son. He likes baseball. He likes school. So, I get a tutors, make sure he's doing, well in school as
Hmm.
well as baseball. So, it's our jobs as parents to help prepare the way for
So
whatever,
true.
Yes.
So true. Now, Paula, you know what? And the thing is, hearing that story right there from how you made the promise, or you told your dad that you want to help your mother, you taking care of your family, you're doing everything right now. Years has went by, and you have been successful in this industry, for the movie and television industry. Now, did you have any mentors that help you out in your career?
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm from Cleveland. We've established that. So being able to work in Hollywood is nothing but God, because this is a town that operates on nepotism. You know, it's like if your dad is a carpenter, you're gonna lean towards being a carpenter when you grow up. So that's how Hollywood is. It's like if your dad is a famous actor, you're naturally going to gravitate and be welcomed into that community a lot quicker because you've already grown up in it. And that's what people don't understand. They think that the majority of people come here and just no, you come here a stranger. It's the people that live here, that are from here, that have established a life here, created a world beyond just being an entertainer, that do well in this town. So me coming here and being blessed the way I was isn't it, it's because there's so many that are talented. You wouldn't believe how many people in my class that are so talented. And I'm so thankful that a lot of us are getting that opportunity. But I have seen so much talent, you know, that you'll never see
I
all over the
understand.
world, because there's more to getting into this industry than how pretty you are or even how
Yeah.
talented you are.
And you know what? And I tell people, Paula, all the time, and I told people through the whole 10 seasons of my show, when you're in this industry, 100 no's can equal one yes. A lot of
Yes.
people come into this industry and they go for a shot, they go for a screening, and they tell them no, and they run off and never come back. You can't give up that quick,
And I don't
especially in
even
the
think,
television and movie industry.
I don't think, Coop, that is people's major problem.
Mhm.
I think this is just my own personal opinion that people come here on one. Like they come here with this plan, like, you know, and it's like they're not genuine. They're
Right,
not authentic.
right.
And it reads. And the thing about this industry that people also don't understand is you're with these people over 12 hours a day, you know, half the year. I am not trying to spend all of that time with someone who's finagling how to get themselves positioned in the right angle in the picture when that is the least of our worries. You know,
Mhm.
there's just some people that aren't genuine, and it's okay if you came here to be a celebrity, you're not really about the craft or the art of acting. That's cool, whatever your MO. It's just about it's free to be nice.
Right.
It's free to be kind. It doesn't cost anything to allow the universe to let it take its course, because everyone will come out on top,
Mhm.
especially if you're kind and nice and pretty and talented. You know, you don't have to lie, you don't have to backstab. And that was what was, you know, weird about the whole professional. Like, I loved, my dream told me to act, it didn't tell me to be a part of the game, you
Right.
know, a part of the the other side of Hollywood, you
Right. The
know,
dark
when the
side.
cameras aren't rolling.
Yep.
So that was never my objective. And it took a minute after I got married and had a baby for me to get to find my place within the Hollywood scheme as a married mother. Because, you know, I established friendships as a single, fun, you know, and I'm still all those things except the single part. So it's like I had to reestablish myself, which I didn't expect. You know, I thought foolishly, oh, I've done these many movies. I've got so much under my belt. I can take a little minute off and have a baby. But I
Hmm.
didn't anticipate that because Hollywood is about revenue,
Right.
that they look at us as revenue and they build us up to bring in more revenue. That if I'm making choices that doesn't equal revenue,
Yep.
so, I had to reestablish myself as a moneymaker post having a child and choosing a husband that wasn't a part of the network.
Right.
So, he was what I needed. And I think coming from the Midwest, being someone who was grounded and close to God and didn't want to do this for the likes or whatever the
Right.
kids say, or what, I don't know.
Right.
For I don't know, the cloud for a second.
Yeah, because you came in pre-social media, so you can't
Right,
really say the likes. It's
right.
really
I
more
didn't
of
do it for the cloud.
right.
I did it because, I saw a deficit in
Hmm.
me, in an authentic version of me. And, I'm from the suburbs of Cleveland, and they wanted me to believe that my people, Black people, were less than, and I didn't understand it. So I gravitated. It's always when they try to keep you away from something, you always, especially as a woman, we always
Right.
gravitate towards that. And these women that they were touting as ghetto just had different accents. It's like being from North Carolina or South Carolina. You just have a different accent.
Right.
Like, there's no difference between Bill Clinton and, our beautiful president, Barack Obama, other than their accents. Bill Clinton's from the South, So
Right.
he's got a strong Southern accent. And I think that is what people were confusing when they were seeing Black women in the grocery store. When I say people, I mean the masses,
Right.
white people. When they
I
see,
see.
and I think they get afraid because it was a language that they didn't understand. And
Hmm.
so I go back to school and I try to tutor. They had all the Black kids except for me in the special needs class, whether they needed it or not. And it became important to me to rally for the Black woman specifically,
Right.
and for the Black urban woman.
Hmm.
It became important to me to let people know that she has a job, she has common sense. She
Hmm.
may talk differently than you, maybe even walk differently, but she is worthy of love and respect, and she is talented. I was finding that, when I see Black women on TV, they have affected accents, like when they were supposed to be from the hood, they be like, I'm going down to the hood. Where my man at? I'm like, my friends don't sound like that.
But
My girlfriends,
right.
from the inner city don't sound like that.
But you
Like,
know what, Paula? I got to cut you off on this one because I'm going to use you for an example. You're one of the women where it doesn't matter if you was on the Weigh-In Brothers. It don't matter if you was on Friday. It don't matter where you was at. You showed you were you for the whole time. And that's one thing that I love about.
well,
Now, I do.
I did try, Coop. I did try. I don't know if you caught it, but I did try to change my accents. Like, Friday, Joy was very DC. I modeled her off of all my favorite DC girls. Um, then, then I flipped it and sprung. Adina was a straight
Yeah,
up Cali girl. You
you're
know,
right about that.
I
Okay.
modeled her off of my favorite Cali girls. Then,
Okay.
when I did Hustle and Flow, I had a speech, like a person who ended up being my cousin, my
Hmm.
husband's cousin, who I followed around. And I tried at the Memphis accent, but a lot of people got upset because they didn't understand the Memphis accent that I was going for was not my husband. It was the woman that I was portraying. The woman in that deep South, where she's raising a child and the city didn't feel it necessary to put sidewalks on her street.
Right.
She's still walking and her pushing the baby stroller down dirt roads. That's the woman I wanted America to be confronted with.
Well, you did a great job.
Well, I was just saying, you were saying that I didn't change my accent. No, I didn't change my core, because that's what I believe, that we're all the same in our core. And that was the point I was trying to convey. You helped me say it. That's what I was trying to say, is that we all, women, Black women, we may come across abrasive because we've had to harden our exterior to survive, not just with men in this world, because, my favorite Alice Walker line is, Black girl ain't safe in a world full of men, honey. So we definitely had to harden our exterior to survive the men, but we've had to harden our exterior to survive our sisters as well. Our authority figures, the cops, the teachers, so we walk around like hardened roses. And I wanted America to see where it comes from. We just didn't wake up like that. We're not all born with a shell around us protecting our hearts. We're all born needing and wanting love.
And you're right about that. You're definitely right about that. Now, Paula, I do want to ask you about this too, because you started talking about it at the beginning of the show, A Miracle Before Christmas. Now, this movie is already out on BET Plus, correct?
Yes.
Now,
yes.
when can we see this on BET?
It comes on BET the 28th.
3rd, right?
3rd. Yes. What you said. Don't, you know what? Cut that. Let me answer it I don't know. Let me put my pretend. It comes on BET on the 23rd, Coop. December 23rd.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's watching worldwide. You're catching Paula right now in her natural state. You really are. Make sure you go watch this movie. If you got BET
Plus, you just gave me a flash, Coop.
Make sure you go watch this movie on BET Plus, December 23rd. Make sure you go watch it. Call your family, your friends, even call your haters. Make sure they all catch this movie. You don't want to miss this movie. You heard her earlier talking about it. Now, Paula, can you name just a few other things that you actually appeared in through your career right now?
Well, right now, I also want you guys to check out The Proud Family. That's the one project I can say, other than Miracle Before Christmas, because I really do think it's a great film. It's family oriented, and I love our leads. My baby, I can't, he's not little anymore. He's a grown man. Romeo, I met him on The Proud Family. So it's so beautiful because Kyla Pratt, who plays Penny Proud on Disney Plus, gave us a reboot. So check that out. We've got one season under our belt, and yesterday we just got the official season 2 pickup and announcement for when it's going to air. We just won an Emmy, a Children's Emmy Award, so we're now officially an Emmy Award-winning show. But Kyla and Romeo were 14 when we, started The Proud Family, over 20 years ago. So to see them both grown up with kids of their own, I played my first grandmother, in A Miracle Before Christmas. And I know that's so corny, but I feel like, I don't know, I've been here and I'm still here. And for whatever capacity, in whatever capacity, I just want to say thank you to you, Coop, and to everybody out there who's been riding with me for 30 years. And you guys are still, showing me so much love and letting me know that you appreciate the love that I put into everything I do for you, because I am on a mission to educate people about who we are as a people, because I've been blessed to be in crossover projects that, internationally have been seen and have been viewed as how Black women are supposedly, and I've always found it important to be honest so that we also take a look at who we are.
Yeah.
I
You're doing
it kind of hurt my feelings because my daughter, well, of course, I hate Steph, but my daughter, she said to me one day, she was like, it's your fault and Terrence's fault that my generation, stripper worships. And I was like, how dare you?
What?
But I honestly had to sit down and have a conversation with her. She was young, maybe like 19 at the time. Well, younger. She's only like 24 now. But she was like, I had to say, did you all not watch the end of that movie? Like, my character ended up the same place she began.
That's right.
And Terrence's character ended up digging in a toilet bowl and in jail.
Yep.
He didn't have a record deal, so he didn't own his master. So you might have heard it on the radio, but Anthony got all that money. So Anthony's character, Anthony and Elise's character. So it's important to me to make sure that people are educated as to what they're watching. Because I believe a lot of people just watch something and take away what they want out of it. They'll watch a whole movie. They won't get the point. Oh, she had on some cold earrings. Let me go buy me some earrings. Yeah, I saw a hullabaloo. And people are like, oh, but didn't you see the lady got killed? Oh, I seen her die, but look at these earrings. So it's like, I want us to be able to view film that stretches our minds. And for so long, we've been given this mush to watch and call it art. And so that's all we expect to see. That's all we want to see. We want to be brain dead when we watch or read or live or flip through. And that's not going to get us anywhere, or our children anywhere. It's not going to perpetuate the type of legacy we want to leave behind. So my objective in everything I do, but especially in movies like A Miracle Before Christmas and the Proud Family, TV shows like The Proud Family, Proud Family Louder and Prouder, I'm able to, in your face, give you messages. Because when I'm giving you messages and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, sometimes you get mad at me instead of owning what you see.
That's true.
So I just challenge us all to go back and take a look at some of my movies, and you'll see that I'm not the stereotype you thought I was. I was really trying to bring a part of a real woman to each role to help you understand yourself better.
You did that, Paula.
That's psychology.
You did.
I minored.
Now,
I actually minored in journalism, but yeah, I read a lot of psychology books. I study. I'm interested in the way the mind operates, why we make the choices that we make.
That's true. Now, Paula, you know what? You're very big on the television. You're very big on movies. You're very big in interviews. But what is the best way for everyone to follow you on social media?
At PJAI Parker. That's once again at PJAI Parker.
Is that going to be Instagram?
On Instagram and on Twitter.
Nice.
And I think I might be Paula Jai Parker, just my name on the damn TikTok. Okay. I'm getting into TikTok, guys. I'm really trying, to work my, what's the I think my girls, I was teaching the cheerleaders from my son's junior high
cool.
school. So they taught me a lot of like TikTok dances. And I think the last one they were teaching me was the Christmas something or another. And
I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
some kind of
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah, and then you do the do-si-do, and then you do
Yeah,
like
I saw that.
this, and then you
I,
rub
I'm
on your tummy and rub on your chest, or something like that. So yeah, I'm
I'm
not good at TikTok, and you just watch it out. Wait for me, TikTok.
well, you better than me. I'm old
Wait
school.
for me.
Still give me the kid and play. I'm old school. You know
Uh,
what I'm saying? That's how I get down. But
but
ladies
did
and
you
gentlemen,
see?
uh-huh.
Have you seen Run DMC's Hip Hop Nutcracker?
No, I heard about it.
It's him, and then our boy Curtis Blow makes an appearance. So for
Ooh.
all you old school hip hop heads, yeah, you definitely got to check it out. It's for the babies, but the fact that it's produced by Rev Run
Mhm.
and that he got Curtis Blow to come through, it's a beautiful thing. So I'm
That's
totally
what's
old
up.
school hip hop myself.
That's
So
what's
yeah, not that I'm not a fan of the young people. There
no,
are,
we get that.
yeah, I do. I'm a
We
fan of
definitely
a
do.
lot of people right now.
Okay. Well, everybody that's watching worldwide right now, make sure you go follow Paula on all social media. Watch her get down, break down her little two-step. She do a little thing like that on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you follow her right now because you don't want to miss any project that's coming up. You don't want to miss anything that she's doing. Now,
No, you
Paula,
don't.
this is the last segment of the show. It's called Take the Floor. You have
Okay.
up to 2 minutes to say whatever you want. No questions asked. Paula Jai Parker, take the floor.
Okay, right now I'm going through some things with being a mother that is very, very hard as far as racism goes. My son goes to a multicultural school, so his friends are all ethnicities. And he got in trouble this week because he and his friends, they just so he cut his boy in line. His friend is Korean and I think Philippine. And so his friend said, blacks to the back of the line. And my son said, sorry, I don't speak Jackie Chan. And then somehow their best friend, who is Latino, ended up in it. And they told him to go pick some oranges. And all of this was just, funny to them. And, the lunch lady pulled my son to the side because unfortunately, we're still dealing with, in America, the majority of the teachers are white and the majority of the janitors and, lunchroom attendants are black. So the lunchroom attendant, black woman, pulled my son to the side because what was being said upset her. And there's a part of me that feels happy that these kids are able to joke about race. That you can tell my son to get to the back of the line or the back of the bus, whatever, or my son can say to you, I don't choose, and you guys are still friends and it's not a big deal. But to the woman watching, it hurt, you know. So I am conflicted because I understand that it's not about the woman watching. It's not even about me. It's about this next generation. And if they can overcome racism through laughter, and you can say to my son, get to the back of the bus, and he doesn't feel the pain that I would have felt, or even the lunch lady felt, knowing that he still is educated. We made my son watch Roots religiously. Like it's not like, but it just makes me think of California and watching, our princess, America's princess, Meghan Markle's story on Netflix. And her mother had concerns because in California, race is different. You can laugh about it. But when she sent her daughter, her jewel to England, it wasn't so funny. And I don't want to do my son a disservice by not letting him know that it's not a joke with everyone.
Understandable. Thank you for that, Paula. Race is not a joke.
Race is not a joke.
It's not a joke. Ladies and gentlemen, be kind to one another. Everybody become one. Paula, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I would love to have you back on in the future.
Thank you for letting me air that.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you stay tuned to the Big Scoop with Coop. My next guest on the Big Scoop with Coop is, you know I don't never announce my next guest. You better follow me on social media at Big Scoop with Coop on Instagram to catch up who's going to be on. All right, people, until the next time on the Big Scoop with Coop. Peace.